Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Georgeta, personal development and life coach at Your Work and Life in Balance. I hope you all had an enjoyable weekend. It seems to have been that weekend where everybody put their Christmas trees up. I've seen loads of pictures of Christmas decorations and also Christmas cake being baked this weekend. Welcome to today's live, where I've invited Anne Iarchy to talk to us about the importance of self-care, health and well-being as the key to a successful life. Anne will be sharing with us some tips on how to be healthy while living a hectic life. If you're watching us live, say hello in the comments. And if you have any questions at all during our chat, please feel free to ask away. If you watch on replay later, do let us know as well. It's always good to know who's watching. So hello, Anne. Thank you for coming on live with me this morning. Just before we start our chat, please, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
So hi, everyone. My name is Anne Iarchy. I'm a weight loss and healthy lifestyle coach. I didn't do that all my life. I used to work in the corporate world, and I used to struggle leading a hectic lifestyle and being healthy at the same time. So for me, it was really about, how do I do it? And most people I spoke to were, well, you have to treat your body like a temple. You just have to go and do it. It was just as if it was so simple. Now, I used to travel a lot. I used to entertain a lot of clients. And it was like, how do you do it? I'm never at home. My fridge was always empty because I was traveling all the time. Because I was traveling, I couldn't really go to the gym. It was just like, how? And because I had this crazy life, and I used to sometimes get up at 5, sometimes come home super late, I didn't really know how to eat healthily. So sugar kept me going, sweets mostly. And it got to me because I knew that wasn't the person I wanted to be. I knew it caused me headaches. So I used to live on Nurofen at the same time. And obviously, I put on weight over the years, and it affected my confidence and self-esteem. And I felt that I had to be another person to compensate on those kind of stuff. And in life, it prevented me from doing quite a few things. And I didn't like it. So things happened. I tore the ligaments in the knee. I was interested in the rehab on how the body worked, and I looked for a course to become a personal trainer. And then one thing led to the other. The company I worked for got acquired by another company, and I thought, you know what, this is my opportunity to see if what I would like to do, what I think I would like to do, is really what I want to do. And so in 2010, I quit my corporate job and I started my own business, initially as a personal trainer. But then I realized that there's more than just exercise more. So I added nutrition, because everyone says, eat less, move more, or eat better, move more, as I would say it. But we all know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. The question is, why don't we do it? And so I started looking at lifestyle in general, and mindset and habits. And that kind of, to me, made a good all-rounder to help my clients to achieve not just the weight loss, but the lifestyle within their busy lives.
Okay, that's great. So tell us what tips you have for us today.
So I'm going to go actually a little bit general, and I think they're very, very important tips because we can all apply them straight away. So the first one, and it's probably one of the most important one, is planning and preparation. And that's in anything in life. If you run your own business, if you, planning and preparation is key. there's different ways of doing it. I always think that, taking time out to do a little bit of planning every week, potentially even at the end of the day, every day, to plan your next day, is super important. And having a diary. Now, when we're busy, scheduling things and planning when you're going to do this and when you're going to do that is massively, massively important, as well as prioritizing. So when we're busy, we don't have always a 9 to 5 day. We might have a 9 to 5 day at work, but then what happens before and after work is part of your day as well. So to combine it all, it's really, really important to look at your diary every night. What do I have planned this week? And maybe at the beginning of the week, I know it's one of those things that I grew up in a family where my mom, we knew exactly, and I can tell you now, what we had to eat on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday was fish, but it changed. Saturday somehow was not really planned, and Sunday was chicken.
Okay.
So,
wow.
every day of the week. And it was just a way for my mom to actually cope with. She went shopping once a week. She shopped for the whole week. And we knew as well what veggies we were going to have as well, because my dad used to go on Saturday to the market and buy all the veggies for the week. And that was it. So it does make life much easier. Maybe it's boring. I mean, I
was going to say that for me would be like too boring.
I rebelled against planning. Yeah, 100%. I really rebelled against planning for years and years and years because of the way I grew up. But now I realize that it definitely makes life easier. Does it have to be that way regimented? Definitely not. But it's important to look at your diary to find out how your next day or how the week is looking like, to be able to plan your meals. When do you have time to cook? When do you have time to shop? When do you, those kind of stuff. And again, my mom was an extreme case. And by the way, when I wrote it in my book that I came out earlier this year, and she said, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Oh, bless her.
But, it doesn't matter how you do it. You can have a list of all your family's favorite meals, and then just pick every day another meal and just buy for those. There's lots of different ways to do it. But yeah, planning is mega important, and obviously preparation as well. And it's not just about food. When do you exercise? Put it in the diary. Do you have an early morning? Then you need to make sure that you're going to bed a little bit earlier the night before. So it's everything that needs to be planned and prepared. Does it mean that life can't be spontaneous? There will always be days where things don't go to plan. So spontaneous stuff do happen, and you can leave the weekend a little bit more relaxed as well. But if you are struggling, then planning and preparation is one of the most important things that you can do. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
And then with it, my second tip is some kind of accountability. So it is important to review every day. What happened to you that day? How did it go? What did you struggle with? Because if you struggled with something, that something will happen at some point again. So let's learn from it. And don't beat yourself up over it, because life happens. And we're going to come to the next step when it comes to life happens. But reviewing what happened, reviewing how well you've done, but also what you struggled with, is a way forward to learn and to do better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that can happen every day. That can happen once a week. That can happen once a month. I would say once a month would be a general thing about your monthly plan for forward, once a week as well. But the faster you do it, somehow our brain is forgets all the bad things that we do. I often, I get with clients and they don't even remember they had that bar of chocolate. Sometimes it comes 3 days later that, oh my God, actually, that day I had a bar of chocolate, because our brain knows it was the wrong thing to do and so tries to suppress it. So the quicker you review, the more you're going to learn.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, every night ask yourself the question, what went well? What didn't go so well? And what could I do better next time when that thing that didn't go so well happens again? And we have to absolutely, the same with planning and preparation and accountability, we absolutely have to take, even if it's just a few minutes, because the more you do it, the faster it will become. Take that time is massively important. I remember, we all live a hectic lifestyle. And I remember for myself, it was just go, 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 go all the time and not taking the time to reflect, to plan, to prepare. And that would have made a massive difference for me. And I know it makes a massive difference for my clients. And I know it would make a massive difference for you as well.
Yeah.
So going to the third tip about, bad, good days, bad days, it's one of those things when we need to think about self-talk. And self-talk is a massive subject, but the way we talk to ourselves is so negative and so scary. And we absolutely, absolutely, absolutely have to be a little bit kinder with ourselves. We're probably the harshest critics of ourselves that we can be. And so when we do something that was not planned, or when we do something that we know is not helpful, and I'm making sure here not to use the word bad because I don't like that word. The self-critic in us is just going crazy.
And it's making such a big deal out of something that could be tiny.
Yeah, definitely. So we all gonna have days where everything goes well. And we're all gonna have days where things don't go to plan at all. And we're all gonna have days where we just can't be bothered. It's life. It's normal. So our self-talk needs to be much kinder with ourselves. But we also have to remember one thing. In a week, we're having 7 days. There will be a meal or a workout or something that doesn't go to plan. That doesn't mean that the whole week is bad. The same with the year. We have 52 weeks in a year. Okay. I know we're just before Christmas, and generally people go crazy at Christmas and then feel massively guilty. Absolutely think about Christmas as, first of all, Christmas is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But let's say you take a whole week or maybe 10 days at Christmas.
10 days.
You just let yourself go. Okay. Take Easter, there's a few days. You take a week of holidays or maybe 2 weeks of holidays. Then you have a birthday and a wedding to go to, once that's been allowed again. All in all, if you're lucky, there's 6 weeks a year where you kind of go a little bit crazy. What happens to the other 46 weeks a year? Do you really believe that in 6 weeks of the year, you can mess up your normal, planned, regular life in 6 weeks that you do in 46 weeks? There's just no way. If you look at it like that, there's just no way you can mess up 46 weeks of going to plan, doing what you normally do in 6 weeks' time. To mess it up.
You'll have to spend 24 hours a day just eating chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be so harsh on yourself. And that's one of the things where people, when they think of their health and their weight loss and their lifestyle, they think of this period of time or of a few weeks, and then I can relax.
They say, "Oh no, I can't do it now. I've messed up over Christmas." Or what I hear quite often is, "There's no point in trying to make any changes now. It's a month before Christmas, or it's 2 weeks before Christmas. There's no point in being good now." But I'm a great believer in the fact that every little change that we make matters, even if it doesn't give us like overnight success. It's important that we just start. I think that's the key for me, just that we just start on something without using excuses, because we're very good at coming up with excuses. But I feel like you've just given us permission to just have Christmas just how we want it, as long as we're good afterwards. So that's great.
As long as you're planned and prepared for afterwards, and you know there's a few things that you can do, just small tips. One is make sure that your house, that you got a food delivery or a shopping planned, for straight after, to buy all the healthy stuff. Secondly, all the rubbish that you still have in the house, go and give it and donate it to be the homeless, or I'm not saying they need to eat all the crap, but people that don't have or didn't have the Christmas that they wanted to have. I mean, there's so many opportunities and places you can donate, especially now. The food banks are crying for extra stuff to give out to people who haven't had. There's lots of different ways to do it. There's, but it's not just go crazy, but exactly as you said, pick one thing that you can do over Christmas, over this period of time, that you feel that if you'd done that one thing, you'd feel good about yourself. Just that one thing.
Give us an example. What will you do?
So I decided in December, because November was a little bit tricky, to exercise 5 minutes a day, every day. Okay. And I actually do it live in one of my programs. So I have a Facebook group with my clients, and I'm actually doing it live every day, 5 minutes. And that's my kind of accountability.
Yes, I was going to say, that's perfect accountability.
And I just show people that you can exercise at home for 5 minutes. It's better than nothing.
Oh, yes.
Especially at a busy time. And that's it. You can decide that, you're going to have an extra glass of water every day if you struggle with drinking water. It can be that you're going to decide to have 3 portions of vegetables a day. If you normally, because the more you eat vegetables, the less other stuff you might eat. It doesn't matter what it is, just one thing every day. And at least you know that you've done that one thing and you haven't let yourself down. I have one client, she's doing a plank every day.
Oh, great.
So I bumped into her yesterday and I said, have you done your plank yet? She said, oh no, I'm going to go home and do it now. So yeah. So
yes, there are so many things. I mean, for other people who, for the people in my group, I guess, some people might have got used to me keep saying star jumps. I love a star jump. I feel like it's a funny thing to do. I always feel very amused about doing star jumps.
And if you have a family, star jumps with the kids is the most hilarious stuff you can do, because somehow kids don't have that coordination. And so the legs and the arms go in all kind of ways. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
So my 4th tip is sleep, actually.
The sleep.
Yes.
The sleep, yes.
Yes. Because when we're really busy, this is the first thing that goes, is sleep. Because we're trying to do as much as possible. We're trying to catch up on all kinds of lost times and lost hours and cramming things in. But sleep is mega, mega important if you want to be healthy, successful, and everything else. You can't, if you lack sleep, you are going to lack focus, energy, and then you're going to, have other stuff that come into place. Like for me, it was sugar. For others, it might be coffee. For, other people, it might be sugar and coffee. Whatever it is for you, that doesn't help with being healthy. It totally doesn't help. So first of all, how much sleep do you need? There's some people say 8 hours. I'd say if you get to 7 hours, if the whole world would get to 7 hours, we'd be in a much better place. So start with 7 and don't, if you can 8, great. If you can't, 7 is perfectly fine. Massively important, though, to have a routine before bedtime. How do you slow yourself down? What do you do? Or do you just straight away close everything and go to bed?
Yes. Yeah.
It takes an hour at least for your body to wind down before you can even get a good quality sleep. So you absolutely have to think of, what do you do the hour before bedtime? And the environment as well of your bedroom. So darkness and coolness is very, very, very important, both of them. And that means, getting the heating off, even in the winter in the UK. Have a hot water bottle in your, or a warming blanket for a little bit. But the body needs that coolness to have a good night's sleep. And then the third thing, which is probably the hardest for all of us, is electronics. Get rid of those. You don't need the radio to fall asleep. That's a habit that you have, built up over the years. You don't need the TV to fall asleep. Again, it's a habit that we build up over the years. It just means that your brain is going to take much longer to wind down before you have good quality sleep. And then the last awful thing is that little thing here.
Oh, yes, that's the worst, isn't it?
That is the worst. There's more and more research to say that be it Bluetooth or Wi-Fi disturbs the brain from, calming down. But then there's the light of that device that, stimulates, again, the brain through the eyes. And then you start thinking, that last email you just read, that update on Facebook you just saw, all these things are really, really stimulating and prevent you from having a good night's sleep. One thing that I used to do is half an hour before bedtime in bed, before I went to sleep, and half an hour in the morning, first thing, like I used to take my phone and look. And if you think about it, it's an hour a day. At the end of the week, it's 7 hours. That's a whole night's sleep that I used to miss.
Gosh, yes. Yeah, when you put it like that, I never thought about it because I certainly spend a bit more than that on social media, on my phone, on emails,
So it's again about planning, preparing, and do something else. Last thing, be reading a book. I know that since the phone appeared, my book reading went way downhill.
Yes.
And it's something that I miss. I do miss reading books, and I do here and there, but not as much as I used to, for sure. So definitely think of your sleep and all of the things around sleep as well. And my last tip is, don't be shy to ask for help. We think we need to do it all. We think we can do it all, even though we deep down know we can't. And somehow you're not supposed to know it all, and you're not supposed to be able to do it all by yourself neither. So be it asking for help to someone professional, or just being someone asking for help to your family or friends. You're not Superwoman or Superman. We're not. And it's okay to ask for help. When life is hectic, it's fine to ask your kids to do something. To help with the chores, to go and do some food shopping, get them to cook a meal. The other half, get them to cook something, get them to do something. And yes, sometimes, we all need
to... It might not be according to expectations, but it's worth it because you get some space, some time.
Exactly. And just relax. Something is always better than nothing. It might not be exactly the taste that you were expecting, but it's still something on the table.
Yes. And you didn't have to put any effort in it.
Exactly. Exactly. And asking for professional help, if you don't know how to deal with things, that's what professional people are there for in all
Mm.
matters, be it a personal trainer, a nutritionist, a life coach. It doesn't matter. It's okay to ask for help. And I think, especially as women, we are being groomed through the years that we need to be able to do everything.
Yes.
And then we get angry with ourselves when we can't deal with everything.
Mm.
It's not worth it. It's just not worth the anger, the disappointment with yourself, and putting yourself somewhere higher on the priority list is very, very important, not just for your own well-being, but for everything you do in life. If you want to be
Mm.
successful in life, you need to be the best version of yourself. If you want to be happy in your life, you need to be the best version of yourself. And when you take care of yourself and you open yourself up to asking for help and to look after yourself, the ripple effect it has on everything else
Mm.
is massive. Be it work, be it life, be it relationships, be it family, be it everything.
Yes,
It's
everything
so
everything has
important.
impact on everything. It's not so, yeah, I see it so often that so many people are successful in one area of their lives, and then the rest of their lives is just really a big mess. Because we do have this, and you're right to point out that women in particular, because we grew up being told that if you want a career, you need to work really, really hard, and if you want to be a good mother, then you shouldn't have a career because you can't really match as two. How can you perform well in both areas? Or if you're a mother and you also have a career or a job, even, you can't possibly make time for yourself as well, because you're supposed to somehow do it all. And just going back to what you were saying earlier, it made me think of the fact that we, as a human race, we used to live in tribes. We hanged around in small villages, and everybody was helping everybody.
Yeah.
Our kids used to grow up in this tiny village, and everybody was looking after everybody's kids. So it wasn't somebody in particular that was taking all the weight on. And men were going out hunting together, and everybody was helping everybody. And we seem to, I don't know for what reason, we've developed now to a thinking where we say no, we're every household, it's supposed to manage everything on their own, and if
Mm.
not, that's shameful.
Yeah. And it makes you feel like you failed. And it's
Mm,
so not true. I mean, there's that pressure, there's that perception that if you can't deal with it all, you
mm,
failed. And that
mm.
is so wrong.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, very good tips. um I've written them all down.
Good.
So, do you have a daily routine that you could share with us?
I do have some daily routines. My days are very changing still today, even though, I some days I start earlier, some days I finish later. So I don't have a structure as such. So there's a few things I do. Every night before going to bed, I look at my diary and I say, what's happening tomorrow? And depending on what's happening tomorrow, I plan my meals for the following day. So I bulk buy generally food and I
Mhm.
portion it up.
Okay.
So the night before, I take whatever it is out of the freezer so that I know it's ready for the following day. That's the first thing. So very different to what my mom used to do. I do it the night before as opposed to knowing everything that's happening throughout the
Mhm.
week. Then obviously, depending on the diary as well, I look at what time I need to get up and what time I need to go to bed. And then I plan in my diary when I'm going to exercise and what I'm going to do exercise-wise. So that's already 3 things that are happening. Every night, I review my day. As I, plan for the next day, I review my day as well, and I ask myself the question of what went well, what didn't go well. And once a week, I also plan my week ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So in big term. So I plan the week, and then every night I look at, is it still the same? Because often I have clients that, move around. I mostly work with self-employed women. So, they have things pop up. So I need to be flexible for them as well. So I always review my day the night before. I try and leave my phone downstairs or at the other side, at least at the other side of the bedroom, so that I don't crazily, I know myself, I don't crazily look at my phone at night. That has brought back the fact that I've been reading more lately, the last couple of years, but yes. And one of the things that I do every day is, and I started in January, is a daily walk.
Yes, I've seen that. So impressive.
Yeah.
So are you actually, this is your day, well, you're around 350 days now, or how many?
340, I think, yeah. So I started on January 1st. So whatever
Wow.
day we are today is I think
Gosh.
it was yesterday 341, but yes.
So is this something that you're looking to carry on doing in 2021?
Yeah, I realize actually walking in the evening after everything is done just clears my head massively. And I often walk with a friend, so we're chatting away. But if I don't, my creative juices just go crazy. So I get lots of ideas while I walk. But even when I chat to my friend, I get lots of ideas while I walk.
Yeah.
And it just relaxes me at the end of the day. A few years ago, I tried to do the same. I wasn't as successful, but I was getting out of bed at before 7 o'clock to do a 7 o'clock walk. But I'm not a morning person, so I prefer definitely to walk in the evening. And
So
thankfully, I have good friends that don't mind walking in the evening as well.
Yes, yeah, and sometimes you're going quite late, so that's nice that they're up for the challenge as well. So how was it? I don't know. I suppose because you started, many people say, "Oh, it's winter, it's cold, it's dark." How was January 2020 for you in terms of this walk? Did you find it quite difficult?
Not really. I mean, obviously, at the beginning, you're quite excited. If you had asked me to walk at 7 o'clock in the morning, I would have said, forget it.
Okay.
But in the evening, you're already up, you're still awake. Instead of sitting in front of the TV after work, I just went out for a walk. So the minute you kind of starting winding down, it's already too late.
Yes.
So do it straight before you start winding down. So when I come back from my walk, I then sit down with a cup of tea, and I then start doing my winding down. But yeah, if you sit down and then think, oh, I should go out for a walk, it's never going to happen.
And do you have a certain amount of time that you want to be walking for, or
at least half an hour?
At least half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the route? Because again, some people might say that, oh, it's the same route, because obviously, in order to find less excuses for not doing it, it has to be convenient. You have to have a convenient place to walk. So I'm assuming that's straight outside your house.
Yeah.
So you must have been doing pretty much the same, area, if not necessarily the same route all of the time. Do you never get bored with that?
Well, initially it's new, so no. And then it's about feeling the benefit from it.
Okay.
And reminding yourself that it's not about the route, it's about what you get out of it. So it's that benefit, that feeling of, feeling fresh, feeling accomplished, feeling happy that you've done something. That's what get me out of the door now. It's not about, oh my God, we're going to do the same route again. Because to be honest, you don't even look at the route anymore. When I chat to a friend, I don't care. We go out of the house. So I have one friend a little bit further up and one down the road. And the down the road is at 10:30 in the evening. And
wow.
she's a late one. So if I don't get to, on the days where I finish work at 9 o'clock in the evening, I know I can go out with her later on.
Okay.
She said, shall we go right or left? I said, I don't care, as long as we go. But it's really about that feeling you feel afterwards. And that's what get me going now, anyway.
Yeah, I can imagine there can also be they say you develop a habit anything between 30 and 70 days sort of thing. And I can imagine that this is now pretty much a part of you, isn't it? It's kind of like, how do you think it would be like if you, for some reason, like if you had a big snow, you couldn't get out of the house? How do you feel? How do you think you would feel like not being able to walk for 3 days?
Well, it's an interesting one because if all goes well, on Sunday I'm off to Belgium for a week to see my parents from a distance. So when I come back, I'm supposed to self-isolate for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh gosh, how am I going to do that with my walk? So I've decided that, again, late at night, I don't meet anyone. I'll go by myself and I'll just go for a half an hour walk, no matter what. So, we probably meet in that half an hour, 2 people on the street. So I'll just cross the road and I'll be fine. But I was thinking about that, how would I feel with that 2 weeks of walking? And I said, no, I can't.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, how interesting. Oh, thank you very much for all of this, Anne. Very, very useful. So I'm really pleased that you gave everyone permission to have Christmas as they want to, so we can still do okay, even if we have, you said you gave us permission for 6 weeks a year. And the rest of the time, I think the key learning here is to do this planning, because it's so easy to wake up, particularly now that everybody's working from home, and some people actually don't feel comfortable to just nip to the supermarket. Some people would like to avoid any unnecessary trips to the supermarket. And I can easily see scenarios where you just work, and comes lunchtime, you head to the fridge, there's nothing like healthy to eat, and you just go through the cupboards and you find all sorts of things. So planning is indeed very important, and getting rid of those bad foods once you've indulged over Christmas as well. Or maybe just, I guess, if you're very good at planning meals, don't buy a lot more than you expect to need, so that you don't
especially now. Like, I know we normally, have a lot of friends over, families, and all kinds of stuff like that. This year will be definitely different. So just don't buy the same quantities because it's Christmas.
Yes, yeah. It's it can be challenging because obviously I've been seeing in the supermarkets here, there's so many, because you have all these special foods that you typically just see over Christmas, and there's loads of varieties of gingerbread, for example. I love gingerbread, and it's kind of like, oh, I would really like one of these and I would like to try the other one as well, and there you go, you end up having a lot more than you'll actually need over the Christmas period. And then
but what's interesting is, I don't know, here at least, all that food's been out since August, end of August.
Oh my gosh.
But in August, no one looks at it. In September, no one looks at it. In October, people maybe start looking at it. And then suddenly we go crazy. But it's been there for months.
Over here, they just brought it in the center areas of the shops, and it's kind of like you just bump into it.
Yeah.
It's in your face, I guess.
Click and collect is a great
Click
way
and
of shopping.
yes, it is. It is. I totally agree with that. And yeah, I mean, I found that as well, that it gives you an opportunity to reconsider as well, because when you get to review your basket, you're thinking,
Yeah.
maybe I can drop this actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, loads of great tips. Thank you, Anne. So tell us, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you?
Social media, everywhere, be it Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, so all under my own name. I also have a website, anneiarchy.com. So yeah, just type my name and I'll show up.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, obviously, you can also drop some links in the comments in wherever we put the videos as well. Okay, it was lovely to talk to you today. Thank you once again. And are you going for a walk now after? No, because it's morning
I'm
for
not.
you.
It's morning,
for you.
yeah, no, I've got work to do. I've got some clients, and then I will be walking tonight for sure.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, well, have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.